Question 133. The graph of f is defined for this interval as shown in the figure above. Well, actually the figure is right over here. And if g of x is equal to f of 3x minus 2 over 2, the question is, what is the value of g prime of 1? So let's find the g prime of x first. So g prime of x is equal to, here we have a f function, right? So f prime of 3x minus 2 over 2 times the derivative of this, right? That's a chain rule. And 3x minus 2 over 2 is actually equal to 3x over 2 minus 2 over 2, right? So that's a 3 over 2x minus 1. So the derivative of this is 3 over 2. So times 3 over 2. So far so good? So we have g prime 1 is equal to f prime. We have to substitute 1 for x. So substitute 1 here. So 3 minus 2, that's 1. So we have 1 over 2 here and times 3 over 2. And this is the slope of tangent line of the graph of f at x equal 1/2, right? When x is equal to 1 over 2, 1/2, right over here, the slope is, this is line, right? What's the slope of this line? Rise over run. Rise is 4, run is 1, right? So slope of this line is equal to 4, right? So f prime 1 is equal to 4. So this is equal to 4 times 3 over 2. So 2 times 1, 2 times 2, 2 times 3 is equal to 6. So g prime 1 is equal to 6. Question 134. If h of x is equal to 4x times f of 2x, what is the value of h prime 3 over 4? Okay, h of x is actually product of two functions, 4x and f of 2x, right? So h prime x is equal to, well, in order to find h prime, we have to apply the product rule, right? So the derivative of 4x, that's 4. And leave the second function alone, plus leave the first function alone, and times derivative of this function right here. Well, derivative of f prime. So f prime, leave this expression, times derivative of this chain rule, right? So that is equal to, well, I'm just going to substitute 3 over 4 for x, okay? Since the question is to find h prime 3 over 4. So h prime 3 over 4 is equal to 4 times f of 2 times 3 over 4 plus 4 times 3 over 4 times f prime 2 times 3 over 4 times 2. So far so good? Okay, so that is equal to 4 times f of, here, 2 times 1, 2 times 2. So that's 3 over 2 plus, here, 4 cancels out. 3 times 2, that's a 6. So 6 f prime, here again, this is a 3 over 2, right? So f prime of 3 over 2. Okay, so that is equal to 4 times, this is function value, right? When x is a 3 over 2, here is a 3 over 2, right? That's 3 over 2. So when x is a 3 over 2, this value must be equal to, here, when x is 1, 4, 2, 2, right? Then when x is a 3 over 2, this must be 3, right? This is just the linear, right? Okay, so f of 3 over 2 is a 3. plus 6 times f prime 3 over 2. That's a slope. So slope of this line. Rise over run. Rise is -2, right? Rise is -2. Run is 1, right? So the slope has to be -2. Slope is equal to -2. And this one is equal to f prime 3 over 2, right? So that's -2. So we have 12 minus -2. That's equal to 0. So the answer h prime 3 over 4 is equal to 0. Question 146. If h is defined as this, then which of the following is equal to the derivative of this function at x equals 0? Okay, so let's differentiate this function and substitute 0 for x. So we're gonna differentiate h of natural log 4x plus 1, right? So that is equal to derivative of h prime, right? If we have a derivative of this function h prime, then we have to leave all of this expression alone, right? So we have to rewrite natural log 4x plus 1 times then derivative of the function inside of the parentheses. We have a natural log, right? So it has to be 1 over, it has to be 1 over 4x plus 1 times inside of the parentheses 4x plus 1, right? Chain rule times 4. So I'm going to substitute 0 for x. So at x equals 0, we have h prime, here substitute 0 here, 0 here. Natural log 0 plus 1, natural log 1 times 1 over 0 plus 1, 1 times 4, right? Okay, so that is equal to, this one is equal to, here natural log 1 is equal to 0, right? So h prime 0 times 1 times 4 times 4. Okay, now we have to find the value of h prime 0. The function h of x is given right here. So let's find the derivative of h first. Here h prime x is equal to, leave the constant, and that's exponential, right? Then we have to rewrite whole function e to the 4x squared minus x times derivative of this, right? So that's 8x minus 1. So I'm going to substitute 0 for x since we have to find the value of h prime 0. So substitute 0, 0, 0, right? So h prime 0 is equal to 2 times e to the 0, and 0 minus 1, that's -1, right? E to the 0, that's 1. So 2 times 1 times -1, that's -2, right? So we're almost done. Here, h prime 0 is equal to -2. So I'm going to substitute -2 for h prime 0. So that is equal to -2 times 4, which gives us -8. So the answer is A. Question 150. We have y function in terms of x and u function in terms of x. Then what is the value of dy du, right? The derivative of y with respect to u at x equal 2. Okay, using the definition of chain rule, we can rewrite dy du is equal to dy over dx times dx over du, right? Since this dx cancels out, all of this expression is equal to dy over du, right? Here, y is in terms of x. So if we find the derivative of this function, that's going to be dy over dx, right? So we're going to differentiate this function in terms of, with respect to x. So that's going to be dy dx is equal to 6x minus 4, right? Here, we need a dx over du, derivative of x with respect to u, right? Here we have a u function in terms of x. So we're going to rewrite this function x is equal to in terms of u. Okay, so let's rewrite this. Here, 1 over x is equal to 1 minus u. So x is equal to 1 over 1 minus u, right? So that is equal to 1 minus u to the power of negative 1. So let's differentiate this. Differentiate this with respect to u. Then that's going to be dx over du is equal to, here we have a power negative 1, right? So negative 1 times 1 minus u minus 2 times the chain rule, derivative of this. That's going to be negative 1, right? So dx over du is equal to negative times negative, positive 1 over 1 minus u square. Oops, that's a square. So far so good. Okay, so dy over du is equal to dy over dx times dx over du is equal to, here, dy over dx, that's 6x minus 4, right? So 6x minus 4 times dx over du, that's 1 over 1 minus u square. 1 over 1 minus u square. And we have to find this derivative when x is equal to, right? So I'm going to substitute 2 for x, 2 for x. When x is equal to, what is u then? U is 1 minus 1 over 2, which is equal to 1 over 2, right? So when x is equal to, u is 1 over 2. So we're going to have to substitute 1/2 for u, right? So 12 minus 4. 12 minus 4 times 1 over 1 minus 1 over 2 square. So that's 8 times 1 over 1 minus 1/2, that's 1/2. So 1/2 square. 1/2 square. So that's 8 times, this is this part right here is a 1 over 4, which is equal to 4, right? So 8 times 4, that is equal to 32. So the answer is 32. Question 153. We have a y function in terms of m and m function in terms of n and n function in terms of x. The question is, what is the value of dy over dx at x equal to? Okay, so using the definition of a chain rule, we can write dy over dx is equal to, here y is the function in terms of m, so dy over dm times m is in terms of n, so dm over dn, right? And n function is in terms of x, so dn over dx, right? If we simplify this expression right here, dm cancels out, dn cancels out, right? So this expression is equal to dy over dx, right? So let's find the derivative of first the function y, derivative of y with respect to m. So that's going to be equal to, here, derivative of this That's 1 over 2m minus 11, right? Because of this natural log, times chain rule. Derivative of 2m minus 11, that's 2, right? Okay, now derivative of m with respect to n. So m function is right here. That's exponential, so we have to rewrite this exponential function times derivative of this chain rule, right? So 2n minus 3. So far so good? Okay, times derivative of n with respect to x. Here n is the square root of 4x plus 1. That is equal to 4x plus 1 to the power of 1/2. So derivative of that with respect to x is equal to 1 over 2 4x plus 1 to the power of negative 1 over 2 times derivative of this chain rule 4, right? So that's dy over dx, and we're gonna have to find dy over dx when x is equal to 2, right? So when x is equal to 2, what is value of n? If we substitute 2 here, that's square root of a plus 1, 9, right? So square root of 9, that's 3. When n is equal to 3, what is value of m? M is equal to 2e to the 2 times e to the 3 square minus 3 times 3. 9 minus 9, right? So that's a 2e to the 0. This is equal to 1. So 2 times 1, that's 2. So when x is 2, n is 3, m is equal to 2. So we're going to find the derivative of y with respect to x when x is equal to, that's going to be equal to 1 over 2 times m is 2 minus 11 times, here 2 times 2, that's 4, right? So let's write 4 e to the, here when x is 2, n is 3 here, right? So 9 minus 9, 0 times n is 3. So 6 minus 3, that's 3. So far so good. Here we have 1/2 4. So I'm going to simplify this. So I'm going to substitute 2 for x. Right? So 8 plus 1, that's 9. 9 to the power of negative 1 over 2 times 2. Right? So that's 1 over 4 minus 11, that's negative 7, right? Negative 7. Here, 4 times e to the 0, that's 1. So 4, 3, 2. 4 times 3, 12. 12 times 2, that's 24. Right? Here, this value is 1 over 9 to the power over 2, right? That's the square root of 9. That's the 1 over 3, right? So times 1 over 3. So if we simplify this, that's going to be 8. So finally, the answer is negative 1 over 7 times 8, negative 8 over 7. That's our answer. Question 156. If f of x is equal to 1 minus 2x and h is a differentiable function of x, then which of the following is equal to the derivative of f of h2x? Okay, so let's differentiate with respect to x of this function right here. That is equal to, we have f function, right? So f prime, and leave this expression alone, times derivative of this. We have h function, so h prime, leave 2x alone, times chain rule, derivative of 2x, right? times 2. Okay, so we have to find f prime of h of 2x. Here we have f of x. So what's f prime? F prime x is equal to negative 2, right? It's constant. This means for all values of x, f prime, the slope is always equal to negative 2, right? Then what is this value right here? For any value we have here, input, that's always, the slope is always equal to negative 2, right? So all of this value is negative 2. And we have h prime of 2x times 2, right? So if we look at answer choices, this is all h or h prime x in terms of h or h prime x, right? So if we simplify this, that's going to be negative 4 times h prime of 2x. So the answer has to be B. Question 163. Find the value of k such that the tangent line of the graph of y at k and k minus 1 are parallel. If two tangent lines are parallel, then the slopes are equal to each other, right? So we can write y prime, which is the slope of the graph of y, at k is equal to slope at k minus 1. They are equal to each other, right? So y prime is equal to 12x squared minus 6. So y prime k is equal to 12k squared minus 6. What about y prime k minus 1? That's 12 times k minus 1 squared minus 6, right? So what we can do is we can set this expression is equal to this, right? So we have 12k squared minus 6 is equal to 12 times k minus 1 squared minus 6. So add 6, right? Then we have 12k squared is equal to 12 times k minus 1 squared. So divided by 12, right? Cancel this 12 out. So k squared is equal to k minus 1 squared. So far so good. So k squared is equal to k squared minus 2k plus 1. Eliminate k squared. So we have 2k is equal to 1. Then k is equal to 1/2. So the value of k is 1/2.